Well, hello there. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. So, a while back, I was walking to get my real morning coffee, which means you've had a couple cups at home, but now you need that Trenta from Starbucks. And this was probably a few years ago because I was listening to T Swizzle on my headphones, and I was just getting the day started. And I'm walking, hands in the pockets. The air is crisp. It's that ideal Southern California weather. Think Rose Parade day of. There's still some dew on the grass. Maybe it's sprinkler dew, which as we all know is faux dew, but it's still pleasant. And I'm walking. And there's something about a morning walk that just really seems to get the day started in a good direction. And so I'm caught up in what I'm sure it was just a lovely reverie when suddenly I look up and I see this woman sprinting at me. Now she's probably a quarter of a block away from me. Now this isn't a woman jogging, friends. This lady has a long gray shirt on it. It says Slay across it. She has maybe pink slippers. Her hair is like all crazy. And she is just making a beeline for me. And I don't know if you've ever had someone just out of nowhere just start running at you. But I have seen Waterboy enough to know that my medulla oblongata was gonna need to step up. Because it was fight or flight time. Because this lady meant business. Now, don't worry, friends, because I had just watched Point Break that morning, or actually really that evening, the night before. And growing up, I had played Street Fighter, and I have won with every single character, including E Honda, and I had prepared for this. I had trained for this. Maybe not visualized it exactly to happen just like this, but I was ready for this moment. Yeah, it came down to this moment. This was going to be the defining moment of my life. And as she is barreling down at me, it got me thinking about John chapter 12. And in John chapter 12, Jesus has a defining moment. It was time for the cross. He had entered into Jerusalem and he knew what was coming. And here's what the text says. Verse 23 says, Jesus replied, "The hour has come for the Son of Man to be glorified. Very truly I tell you, unless a kernel of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains only a single seed. But if it dies, it produces many seeds. Anyone who loves their life will lose it, while anyone who hates their life in this world will keep it for eternal life. Whoever serves me must follow me, and where I am, my servant also will be. My Father will honor the one who serves me." Now this is the defining moment. Are you ready? "Now my soul is troubled," Jesus said, "and what shall I say? Father, save me from this hour? No, it was for this very reason I came to this hour. Father, glorify your name." Then a voice came from heaven, "I have glorified it, and I will glorify it again." I love this moment. There are a lot of favorite Jesus moments that I have, but this is top 3 for sure, because here he is, defining moment, right? He could turn back or he could keep going, and he keeps going. He goes to the cross to conquer death, to defeat the devil, and then to rise again. Defining moment. But here's the thing about that moment. That moment wasn't for him. The hour, the reason he came, was for us. See, there is a real problem sometimes with our thinking. We've bought into the fallacy of making individualism the organizing principle of our society. And we as humans prefer to put ourselves in the center of our moments. Our lives, our thinking, our whatever you name it. We try to shape this world around ourselves. But Christ enters in to save us from ourselves, to save us from the sin that we choose, to save us from the mess we are in, the mess of self-centeredness. And on the cross, his life-giving sacrifice, that is what defines us. Our baptism into his name, that is what defines us. The bread and wine that he gives, that is what defines us. The love and righteousness he won for us, that is what defines us. We are called not to ourselves, but to faith. To look to him into faith, to trust him wholeheartedly, to seek his kingdom first. You know the prayer, hallowed be thy name. We are called not to serve ourselves, but to be kind. When there is so much anger and cutthroatness and competition, kindness shines like a bright star in that dark sky. I'm talking like city stars, you know what I mean? I mean, when you go outside and there's so much light pollution that you can only see 3 or 4, that kind of star, that is how bright kindness is right now. And we are called not to work for ourselves, but to work for the good that he has called us to. So let's open our eyes. Let's open our hearts and our hands to the work that is before us.
Well, what about the lady?
Oh yeah, the lady, well, she's like 20 yards away at this point, and I'm getting into this stance. She's 10, she's 5 yards away, and all of a sudden she makes this sudden cut to the right. She hood slides across a green Civic like she's Bo Duke, drives out of the car and just takes off screaming. And I'm like, what? Pop my headphones and I hear a zoom, 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 zoom noise. I look behind me. It's a street sweeper. And so I just put my headphones back in, listened to Taylor, and I went and got that coffee. And so today, friends, let Jesus define you. Seek him by faith, live in kindness and love towards others as you do the work that he has called you to.